So it's the 21st of July 2024, as I mentioned on the previous video regarding the sunny weather. So the temperature in my place is about 32 degrees Celsius with the windows open, but you do have a breeze today with the windows open to allow some air to come in. There's quite a few sheets that I did last night, anything from sort of banging in sequence to frets, so it wasn't really that bad. The main problem last night is I mentioned energy weapons being used at my old place to try and blind me, causing gritty eyes and problems like that. But for the last 2 nights it's now started at this place, but this is the first time it's occurred since I've moved to Thorn House, where it feels like it's being done deliberately. At the time it's being occurred, again, Peter has to leave his flat, or Hayden has had to leave his flat to go underneath me. I'm not quite sure what's causing it, but this is something that's not occurred since I was living at my old place. There's been times when I've had it, but it's not been as bad as what it is the last 2 nights, and I had to camp because of this, and the police couldn't do nothing because they couldn't locate the source of what was causing it, and that's why I was camping at my old place. It did actually stop when I was at my old place, because the police came around to the neighbours, not so much to moan about that, but because there was arguments and all the rest of it, and me being mistaken as Sven. Well, the police told them right who I was, you know. We've got grey sick cars on the road below and tomato ketchup van. Right, so we had that. Like I said, when I left, we cut a long story short, all the neighbours that I knew at my old place, well, I was on good terms with them, so I didn't actually leave my old place on a negative note. And this issue with the eye problem didn't really continue for the last couple of weeks. That I came back on occasions to stay over, but on the last night I decided to camp out, and that's when I had my boxes stolen from the bike shed of an equivalent of about £4,000 worth of stuff. There's a couple of things I forgot I had in there that I lost as well, and I also had some M-discs in there, believe it or not. In today's price, the boxes cost me about £4,000 what was stolen. In today's price, not back then, it would have been about half of that price. So we had that. 5 and 8 a.m. Peter was still up, so I don't know why he's and I woke up several times in the night. Most nights I do wake up quite a few times, especially if there's noise or if burning occurs or whatever that wakes me up. At the time the burning occurred, or the eye problem occurred should I say, it was showing up in particular on the radiation detector and ultraviolet rays. Not so much on the EMF meter this time, but it was definitely showing up on the ultraviolet detector, and that was extremely bad, at the highest possible level that it can go. Obviously you can probably get frequencies that go higher than that, and it just remains in a stable colour like it does. When it comes to other energy weapons, like what's causing the burning, it seems to be more dependent on the EMF meter being in the red, like a light switched on, rather than flickering about. So yeah, it's not good. Obviously Peter wants me out there. Peter Ritchie doesn't like me, so he's a neighbour that wants me out there. He thinks I'm a rapist, he thinks I raped Grace, he thinks I stole Sam's bike, he thinks I raped Sadie Dando, and there's nothing I can do about it. Regardless of what the truth is, we got to go with the lies, and I got to pay the price with the lies that are being slammed down my fucking throat without verifying the facts first. And we've also got this problem where people are thinking I'm Sven as well. Regardless of me showing ID, original ID of my original birth certificate and my national insurance number, my original one that I was issued, regardless of me having that identification and showing this to people, they still think I'm Sven. Regardless of the pictures that I had on Facebook of me holding up jungle CDs when I was about 25 years younger than the age I am now, and 30 years younger with the very young pictures of me holding, well, with basically me next to the jungle mixtapes known as Dance Trance and Jungle Mania 3. Regardless of all those scanned photos that my dad scanned about 15 years ago, they're still thinking I'm Sven. Even with the deleted paper documents of me placing orders at WH Smith's and HMV Record Shop and in the post on Virgin Megastores Direct or whatever, regardless to all that, these people still think I'm Sven, and this is why it's going to continue and continue. It's not going to end. But the problem is the council is slow to move people. One of the housing associations I spoke to on the phone, which was earlier this year, because I've only ever had two phone me up. One said you'd not qualify for the because you're a single man and not in a relationship with a woman, or not in a job, or not a single teenage parent, you don't get the priority everybody else does. However, because I'm housed already or in a home, you do get the priority of being in a higher position than someone that's homeless that's not working. Although that sounds bad, people that are homeless that are not working are seen as being at the low end. So the other housing associations had the Alliance phone me up and saying that I'm not prioritised for the place, which is a place I bidded on near Cheddar, because you have to go with what you can get. The area is not perfect, you know, on all these that you bid on, but the problem is they're not offering very clever places at the moment. And I can't remember where the other one was, but they basically said they'd prefer it if they could see people that have been on Home Finder using the Home Finder register on gold banding for at least 5 years before they rehome people. They say it's not a nice thing, but with our housing association we don't move people that easy. To get a place is very difficult as it is, and basically told me that. So that means if all the housing associations do that, there's basically another 3+ years for me to wait there on gold banding before I can get a move. Anyway, this morning there was a couple of knocks. They're not too suggestive, but there's a couple of knocks. There's a lot of stuff being said outside. I mean, I quite frequently mention the threats. In total there's about 15 pages last night, but I haven't brought them with me, so I can't say what they are. Going out today, the traffic flow is excessive. They managed to get all the movement controlled around me. Black and blue cars timing an angle, Zimmer frames at me, telling me I'm a sick bastard. There was actually a lookalike to my father. I thought it was my father. Today, it wasn't, because obviously this person's slightly younger. And believe it or not, they're even telling me I'm a sick bastard to a resemblance of looking at my father. And I thought, what the hell was going on there? You know, sort of. They haven't got a clue. When they're setting this up, they don't have a clue. So obviously this lookalike was about 30-ish, about 10+ years younger than me, but with an older appearance in the face, but looked identical to, you know, to my father. After that, the setups got really aggressive, so you had like evil phantom shaped car headlights, overhanging trailer trying to rip my legs off in a sly nasty way, polar speed van, a load of aggression. I had to walk into threats today, so there has been threats in my direction. There's been threats to say that your life is being taken, and there's a 3-wheel motorbike, and I can't fucking photograph it because it's a 3-wheel motorbike looking buggy on down there. I can't photograph it because I'm filming. It's a sexual looking sort of 3-wheel motorbike, in fact. There's a white colour. So yeah, I managed to make it to the shop. The shop was packed, coughing and sneezing in my direction. They're always timing these boastful fucking unhygienic fat ladies in their 20s and 30s to cough or sneeze at me, or in their 40s. Always the unhygienic type. Well, everyone seems to be a fat piece of lard. You know, it's always the same, wherever you go. And that's the type that all the people on dating refer you to, or have in the past. It's always the same. If you don't go with a fat, ugly type person or a fat person, you're known as a sick bastard. But the thing is, if these people clean up and take slim fast or do exercise and become slim, the minute they start looking sexual again, or you're known as a sick cunt. Right, there's no escaping a black and blue car and a black sexual car, and that car that's just passed another catalytic converter hot point. They've stepped this up now, by the way. Every time I come here, there's both directions. There's a car that's timed, so it's either black and blue, grey white, or sick white, black and blue knife shape. Since I started doing it on a digital audio recording device rather than the camera, they've stepped up that action on that catalytic converter hot point. They know they can get away with it, but today I forgot my digital audio recording device. And I've only done that for about just over a week on a digital audio recording device, otherwise it was a camera. And every time I come up here, the setups and the action's being increased. About 6 weeks before Labour gained power was when they stepped up all this action. Otherwise this action was a steady flow of nasty malicious setups. It's never been great, and it's been as bad as many times before, even when Conservatives were in power. But they seem to have stepped it up in a malicious way, or tried to make suggestions that can offend my father in a way where it's not good, to increase all this action. And this action's been increased in the last 2 months. Mind you, it wasn't great before then. I mean, it's good because we were coming out the spring period and things weren't so busy. I don't know, but we look at 2022 and late 2021 and 2021, before I moved to the Oval, the setups then were a lot heavier than what they were before the lockdown. I mean, it was heavy as this, but only on specific days, like when I went to Magistrates Court in Bridgewater, when I've been in the police car to the police station. When that happens, it does step up. They do step it up, and they're getting extra nasty about it. Or take the piss out of me, telling me to fuck people that raped me as a child, like I look like to my school teacher that fucked me in France holiday when I was a child or whatever. And they do it in a piss take way, and to tell me you're not getting no one, and you're going to jail, hoping that I'm going to jail, but I didn't. You know, it's all stuff like that. They're just taking the piss. Anyway, the rest of the setups. So when I came out the supermarket, there was a bike to erection my way, a sexual car, a high up bike in my way, tying to an erection, a couple of black and blue cars, black sick, drain covers hit over, back goes vehicles at me, a car cuts me up to try and smash me in, unexpectedly cutting me around the corner as I go to cross. If I didn't look that way, I wouldn't see it coming into me, and basically colliding on the bridge to try and smash me to pieces. Then you have what I've already mentioned on the road, where it's sort of a steady flow of setups on the road, but that steady flow only became more steady in the time period after I left the road to go up onto the top part where I was walking when I was doing the initial recording, moaning about today's problems. And also, it's a very sunny day. On the weather forecast, they lied again. They lied yesterday for the 20th of July 2024. There was 3 hours of sunshine yesterday. Now, I lost one of the recordings, one of the best recordings, because I accidentally deleted it in a hurry. But I did keep the other one, which was on the train when I went to Maiden Newton. However, this 3 hour period of sunshine, I was told that everywhere else was cloudy and rainy like it usually is. So they were doing it deliberately, cursing me with a sexy Lauren curse. That's not going to happen. And all they're doing now is telling me that they're going to replace that Lauren with no sex, look like someone who sexually abused me as a child, or telling me that I'm a sick cunt, and it's being replaced with a granny that looks like a shingles attraction, or looks like sick off the floor type of face that you're not attracted to. They're basically suggesting that. I want to get nasty with it. And when they suggest a granny, they're suggesting these zombie looking types, these unhealthy, unhygienic, the sort of people that look like they're goofy and laughing backwards and dribbling out tomato ketchup out their mouths with rotted teeth, or misted up glasses, or greasy black hair and fat build. If you don't fancy that type, you're being nailed as a sick cunt, and they're getting aggressive about it. The people in the elite, or the government, or the creator god, whoever's setting this force up against me. So it's not good. Right, I came to a standstill to write some things down, like allow bikes to erections or whatever, and this tree just collapsed onto me. If I didn't move out of the way 2 foot, I could have actually been dead on that because of the weight of it. So obviously God wanted to cause this to happen, and he did cause it to happen, so got to mention it. Right, so we've had a crow go ha ha ha, and I look like someone who sexually abused me as a child tying to an erection, walking in my direction, quite literally straight after I did the last video about the tree falling over on me. Right, I was going to release this information a little bit earlier on, going back a few weeks ago, but this is a split personality of what someone said. Obviously I'm not going to give the name. I mean, it could be anybody, it could be just a regular person I mention on a regular basis, but because the information content, I'm going to have to bleep that information out, but I will tell you what's been said. There's an argument that occurred, and someone has a split personality and a disagreement with me for a short period of time. I think I was moaning about burning and the possible use of energy weapons or something like that. And this person's saying that it was you that should have been... Right, the battery went flat, and so were the other 2 batteries were flat. I don't know how that's fucking occurred. Anyway, this person had a split personality and saying that it was Matty who was supposed to fucking knife you, not fucking knife the staff door. And that I'm not fucking happy about it, because it came back at the staff, basically, at Thorn House, where I live. So this person sort of got a little bit choppy about it, and says, I don't want to fucking speak to you, I don't want to see you. And says, but he didn't go into anything sexual. I said, sexuality, I just didn't go into that, but when we came to the evening of that evening, we did have sort of suggestions to apply molested Sadie and all the rest of it, and then we had the burning occur and all the rest of it. And this goes back before I had to camp, by the way, so it's going back a little while now, possibly about a week or so before that. But yeah, so that's increased all this problem, and obviously we've got the eye problem as well now. So yeah, it's not good, but there's nothing I can do about it. But I did want to mention that specific piece of information. I mean, it's not a grand amount of information, but it is something that I'm telling the truth about, and it has been said. But it has actually been said in general Fret's mind, especially if we go back about 2 nights ago. Last night's probably the calmest night for Fret's in the last 3 days. There's been a lot of stuff said outside, there's been a few things inside said, but it does cover that information. I've already mentioned that information, but not as a conversation or someone actually saying it directly to say that it should have happened to me, sort of thing. Just said in Fret's. So I'll leave it there on that section. Well, it's been just under 50, that's 50 by the way. Loud bikes tying to erections and itchy bum holes. Crow says sad chap knifing him. And obviously you've got whistles, child molester whistled a couple of times. And then obviously those 50 loud bikes in a matter of 10 minutes, something like that. Just one up on after the other, right up until I've pushed record, basically doing this. Now we're stepping up the traffic on the road. But I've been on this road on a Sunday before. I think the record is for a Sunday. Trying to think. I think there was a Sunday where you had 15 cars on this road, roughly. 22. Take that away, there's never more than 3. Not for a Sunday, I don't think. Well, there might have been one time in 2024, 23, no. I'm not sure. I think it would be roughly around about 15. At the moment there's been 6. Right, the government are forcing me back in the other direction by putting rough people in my direction. Right, I've quite literally been pushed to go back where I came from, basically. I can't even go in the other direction. Girls possessed to say shot dead child rapists. As if they're screaming in a field or wherever it is there in the back garden. Coincidence, yes, but God's caused it to come out in that way. After pissing about 50 plus loud bikes in a 10-minute period of space of time, we now got a load of other loud bikes too. Itchy Bumhole and whatever else, and a crow saying knife dead and whatever else. If I was to continue up the road of those two roads that I couldn't go down because of putting corrupt force in my direction and nasty types of people set up in my direction, bearded type people who mistake me as civilian and want to smash the fuck into me or shoot me dead or whatever, I did notice that there was two smart cars that were parked up with people in suits with a clipboard on their, in their car. I didn't actually go far up. Oh, fucking hell. That sun's getting fucking hot. Yeah, if I went down any of those roads, both of those roads, there was two people, smart people that were dressed up in blazer suits in two cars. If I was to go up that one road that I was been diverted back from before I reached that far up, because the car's facing in the other direction towards where I would have been going, and the same for the other car on the other road. So I don't know what these two people were doing, but whatever those two people were doing in those parked cars, right, with a clipboard and writing stuff down, I never managed to get up those roads, and obviously both of those people didn't see me in those cars. But at the moment I'm just going back in the direction I came from. There's not really a lot of choice because I'm being controlled. I can't even go in the other direction where I went earlier because they got a house party where all the rough sort of people start on me and they're sort of whistling, and so that's why I diverted from there initially. So at the moment I'm kind of stuck, been put to a stop. There we are, the next bike. There's a persistent itchy bumhole, and the reason that's occurring is because the water's hard at my place. That's why I can't bath every single day like I used to, or shower. When I was living at Bridgewater, West Street, I was able to shower every single day without getting any sores whatsoever. I could drink the water without being thirsty and not having to drink, litres and litres of water to try and sort out my thirst problem. When I moved to Burnham-on-Sea, the water was a bit more sort of burny, and I had to eliminate my baths. Initially I started bathing every day like I did at my old place. Then obviously it went to twice a week, once on a Wednesday and once on a Sunday. So that was how I was doing it at my old place. So it worked for a while, it worked for a couple of years, and then the water deteriorated even more. So it was just a quick, fill the bath up, jump in the bath on a Wednesday, very quickly, very briefly, and have a proper bath on a Sunday. And you're still getting like this itchy crack, sore private areas, and whatever, itchy skin, because of the hard water. But when I moved to Thorn House at the Oval, the water was even worse than that, and I had to struggle drinking the water at my old place, let alone the worse water supply at this place. But what's happened is I was soaking wet in sweat and I had no choice but to jump in the bath. So I just briefly jumped in the bath. I was in there for a couple of minutes maximum, just a couple of minutes, and being in there a couple of minutes on Wednesday has left me with a sore, itchy asshole, a crack, and also a sore, sweaty privates with moisture underneath the, where the water's ripping the skin up. So it's causing that problem as well. When it comes to this burning problem that I mentioned, it's not connected, it's not the same sort of... When this burning occurs, whoever's causing it, if it is being caused by a weapon or whatever, an NG weapon, is not the same type of burning you get like with the sunshine. So it's not like a burning. In actual fact, it's not really a burning you get when you sort of burn yourself on a, when you accidentally touch the burning mantelpiece in a fire accidentally, and your fucking finger stings for hours on end. You know, just sort of stings, burns. Even just touching it for a quarter of a second, if that burning, when you touch like a fire grate that's burning, that's fucking painful, and it leaves like a mark on your finger, and it lasts, and that pain can be there for sort of irritating for days on end when you do that. It's not that sort of pain. It's not the sort of pain you get when you're very hot and you've had to put up or sit in the sun all day where you're feeling hot. Whatever is causing this burning is cat claw scratch mark type pains and an intense crushing inside your head. The doctor keeps pointing it down to schizophrenia. No one will investigate this situation. The staff at supported housing were told if anything like this happens, back when I first moved there, that they'll go up into this person's place or person's flat to make sure it doesn't happen, or to stop it. And then obviously if it happens in the middle of the night, you can contact the staff in the early hours of the morning, and they'll come up and do something about it or try and stop it if something's going on. That wasn't to be. The first 3 months that I lived there, they were okay with me. But when they handed me over to the Yeovil branch people from the Bridgewater branch, that's when the turn took place. And that's also just after Christmas was when the threats and the shouting and the aggressive behaviour suddenly, it went from it's never been calm from the sort of day one when I moved there. And believe it or not, just before I moved to Thorn House, there were two people in a white van at the back of my old place saying that someone called Matt is going to knife me when I move to Thorn House. And they're saying that I can't remember if they said I'm Liam or Savannah in the threat, and saying he's having his fucking life taken, his biggest mistake ever, he's losing his place, and saying he's moving to that place that looks like a lodge. I can't remember if they said where it was, but I got a little bit annoyed by that, so I put that information on Avon and Somerset Constabulary's Facebook wall post before they blocked me. It turns out that when I did move there was a Matt, but whether they're referring to the same Matt of a neighbour, I do not know. But what I will say is he has been evicted since the 2nd of May, when he went to knife down the staff office door, which comes very interesting to the threat that occurred back at that time before I moved there. The first week I actually moved there, it was actually quite nasty, but I had to put up with it, and I didn't say nothing. I thought to myself, it's not good if I say it's been bad when I've only just moved there, because I just put it down to your psychosis or something like that, or schizophrenia, which I don't have, because they believe I have schizophrenia. But I didn't really report anything back in the early days. It had its times, and then was on and off, but it wasn't as bad. It got a lot worse. It was around about, because when I first moved there, I was trying to sort of re-edit my Victorian bakery and Victorian railway track that I did on a music programme going back. One of them's about, 15 years ago, and the other one's 5 years or so ago. Even those tracks were newish when I sort of moved to Thorn House. They weren't new, but newish. Especially the Victorian railway one. But you've got to take into account I've been at Thorn House for several years now, mind. I was actually still in the late 30s when I moved there, believe it or not. There wasn't too much time left before I hit 40, but I was actually in my 30s, and obviously I'm 44 today nearly, so. But so my life just got worse and worse when I moved there. But as soon as they handed me over to the Yeovil branch, that was when I was getting remarks from the staff office. Obviously, I won't go into details of that because it's not a good thing to do, and and they thought I was sick and all the rest of it. And then I had money packs going missing, stuff coming missing from my flat. There was £1,000 money pack that I had to buy stuff when I moved there, because I didn't know what the place was going to be like, and I saved up because I didn't have a clue where I was moving at the time. I was saving up, and that went missing. The £500 money pack went missing as well, which I gathered up and hid somewhere else later on. And then after that there was a £200 money pack that I put there for emergency, which I hid in a different place where I thought no one would find it. And what happened was someone had it. So, you know, that's 700 quid. There's, you know, had to save up this money because, you know, you need backup money for emergency. But no, if I got no money and I lose my debit card or my debit card breaks, I quite literally have to go without. There's nothing I can do about it because I can't keep my money safe anyway. So, you know, I've always sort of had a backup, you know, where I've kept some money backed up safe. Not the amounts of £1,000 or £500, but the £500 was to build up to try and, obviously it wouldn't have been a grand, it was basically I wanted to move, you see, when I basically first moved there. So that's what I saved the £500 up for, even though the grand got stolen. But the £500 one, I didn't expect that one to be found. And then the £200 one I had to put in a different place altogether. But there was a company that had to do something in that building, and where I hid it, I didn't realise they were going there on that day, and that's when it got stolen. However, I can't accuse Chrysalis Housing because it's not by them. This was another organisation, so it's definitely not by Chrysalis. But it's an organisation that protects a place, checks things in place, like the fire, but not, yeah, like, you know, just someone that visited, and I happened to have it in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's what happened with the other money pack. So, but then again, I lost my records. I lost, in today's money, it's actually £3,000, believe it or not. Then when I bought the records, I literally, even just 5 years ago, those records were 2 or 3 times cheaper than what they are now. People didn't realise the rarity of the records and the fact that they lost the original dates and the recordings, and that's why the records gone up. But those records I don't have anymore, so had to chuck them out because Helen accidentally turned the heating on thinking she's going to turn it off in April 2022, who's one of the staff workers. She knows that I wasn't happy about it, but obviously she also knows it wasn't done on purpose, you know, so I couldn't tell her off for it. But I did lose quite a few excellent old school jungle records, you know, from 1993 and 1994, and usually it's a B-side of the record I go for and their tracks are gone, you know, I don't like download quality. And then obviously Matty, you know, he just comes in and out like a yo-yo. He doesn't know what I'm doing, and, you know, so it's coincidence that he does this, but he's doing it all the time, and I needed to get some discs done. I wasted £1,400 of M discs. That would have been the price in today's money of back in the time of 2022, and they've gone up as well since that time. So if you look at it in today's money, you're looking at possibly over £2,000 worth that are broken, damaged, banging, knocking the sense key. But it got even worse, because when I found out that I was recording the discs, and I did the discs, I didn't realise that when I saved the discs that I left the internet dongle on all the phone signals. On a lot of the tracks, you would get frequencies from the phone come across where it wasn't saving properly, or there would be pauses or clicks or sort of frequencies that were saved when I saved the tracks, and it caused me to lose the 50 or just under 50 copies of discs that I recorded to be chucked out as well. So I succeeded with absolutely nothing. But it gets even better, because whatever is causing these energy weapons or whatever it is, it cost me £800 of cryo chamber CDs, 32 in total, but I did get backup copies back at that time which was separate, but they're also gone as well because of possible energy weapons. So Peters were possibly responsible for costing me £800, and to get those discs back would be a lot of money. And I was buying it when I was camping because I was trying new music, because I lost all my other music, my old school jungle, because a lot of that got damaged again by whatever was causing eye problems at my old place. Cost me hundreds, in the thousands actually, of old school jungle discs if I had to buy them back, that is. I mean, most of these discs back in the day would have been £8.99, £2.99, £5.99. Because of the rarity of them, you're looking at a £200 for a CD. So I've lost all my music, I can't buy it back, and I won't buy it back, on the principle that you're wasting your money. It's the money, the cost. You just have to accept your losses. You just have to accept that you lost your music. There's a few CDs I managed to scrape up some tracks on with that didn't get damaged at my old place. There wasn't many, but there are a few CDs that were lying about that I managed to scrape up certain tracks off of. But with most of those CDs, you have to check the whole track, because they just go through on the whole track. Sometimes they won't even play at all. And depending on it really depends, what time I bought them, where they were kept. And then I did try putting them in foil as well, and when I put them in foil, I realised that was actually breaking them and not actually repairing them. There's so many different things I've done to try and protect these discs, and there's only several that tested to test of time, hardly any. And then obviously I had to buy some off of eBay when I moved to Thornhouse to rebuy that back, and that cost me a lot of money as well, in the hundreds. But I bought them as like job lot, poor condition, but good enough to save them onto a computer and then chuck the original CD out, sort of thing. And that's how I did the 40 track CD of rescuing some certain tracks. So that's the next thing that occurred. I realised that when I went on a gin and vodka and started drinking heavy spirits, that the Music Electronica series, which is there was 3 12 packs or something like that, a 9 and a 12 and a 12 pack of just that specific series, and there was like you had 3 lots of 12 CDs in lunchboxes that I taped up. So the Electronica series 1, 12 discs of CD, disc 1, same for disc 2 and disc 3. And then I had another 9 pack of something else. I think it was the dark ambient one, I'm not sure. Well, I had that in a rubbish bag to make it look like it's rubbish, because I didn't want it to get stolen if I went anywhere. And what happened was, one night I got pissed and I accidentally chucked the wrong bag out. And when I noticed it, later on, I realised that the dustman had been, and I lost all those recorded M discs that I did. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, and I lost some temper. And I literally just went on the spirits for months and months and months. Thought to myself, my fucking life's gone. And this is before the energy weapon issue and all the threats were gone and get nasty at my old place, this place, sorry. So, all this has happened, is just life's getting worse. And what do we get in 2022 on top of that? Because it was 2022 I chucked it away. The worst this year on record for threats, for direct threats. Not the nastiest threats, but the amount of threats, and same for the amount of people photographing me, and also for the same people coughing and sneezing in my face for that year. So that was a really, really bad year. And then 2023 was a bit calmer. I was looking for ways to, thinking of how to end my life without suffering, because obviously the days are coming where my life's getting worse. And in 2024, I've put plan 1 already in place. There's 14 stages of suicide night, but plan 1's already been put in place, because if my life doesn't improve, or I don't get a sex partner by the end of this year, I'm taking these steps, because I'm not going to put up with it anymore, because my life's just getting worse and worse. And you've had everything taken from you, ripped out your hands, and you're being insulted to listen to sexual music, and being insulted to say that, this and that. So, it's like God's fucking put a knife in you, and then you've got to church, go to church, and being treated like a sick bastard there, and getting God's animals are speaking, and in a way to say, oh, you're going to a fire, how you raped certain names that I've never raped, or you've been molested and never having anyone, or claiming that I've had sex with sexual ladies that I've never been with or never had sex with. So yeah, God's all twisted, nothing you can do about it. I'll leave it there. Then you've got to take into account, in general, you can't do anything on a daily basis because it's just blue skies and sexy weather, sexual sunshine. It's still right. So I mentioned that the 2nd of April there was 3/4 of a rainy, cloudy day with a lot of sunshine in the afternoon and sunny spells 15 minutes at times in the day. On the 28th of May, half a day was cloudy, the rest was sunny. And then we go into June the 22nd, where the morning was blue skies and sunshine and very hot. Warmed my place up to nearly 30 degrees or something like that. And then it was just on and off throughout the day. So there's more to be a sunny day than it was cloudy on that day. And then obviously more recently was yesterday, where you had a quarter of a day where it's cloudy. Take that away, each and every day, or where I've been, there's been either blue skies and sunshine, or sunshine wherever I've been on every single day since the 2nd of April, apart from those 4 days. And like I said, those 4 days, the maximum is 3/4 of a day, and that was on April 2nd. And you had like an hour or so of sunshine even on that day, via the 15-minute periods of sunshine here and there throughout the day when it was cloudy as well. So, and then the next cloudiest day would have been the 2nd of, the 28th of May, where half a day was cloudy. Apart from that, and yesterday you had a quarter of a day that was cloudy and rainy, otherwise sunny right through. and today's been sunny right through from start to where it is now. It's only early afternoon, but looking at the sky, it looks like it's opening into blue skies everywhere, so it's certainly if you look at it on the principle, it's actually the only 2 weeks worth of cloudy, rainy weather, and there's sun also on those days. For me, not for everybody, for me, because of the way it's happened, it's been the sunniest, sunnier than 2022 and also sunnier than 2023 for where we are to this time of year. In 2023, there's only literally, where I was, a maximum of about 6 days crammed into 24-hour periods of where cloudy, rainy weather compacted together for the whole of that year. Obviously, because I went to my dad's and you had that cloudy, rainy spell, that's mostly what is the only thing that's stopping it from being as making it look like it's cloudier than last year. What the January, apart from the first few days of 2020, where I was sunny. The same for February until we came to the end of February when I was at my dad's, and you had these cloudy days in March. From 3/4 away from March to when I came back to my place, apart from those days I mentioned, 2nd of April, roughly 7 days of hazy sunshine compacted together, that is, into 24-hour days, and 50 torrential rainstorms or heavy rainstorms, anything from, most of it while it's sunny at the same time. Take that away, sunny every day, 24 hours a day, but not 24 hours a day, in the daytime hours of the day. I don't know what the nights have been like, because obviously I haven't checked to see if it's clear nights, but throughout the day, every day's been sunny. Literally apart from those 4 days I mentioned, since I stayed at my dad's and came back middle of March or end of March. Right, so it's still the 21st of July 2024, coming to the end of my walk. I've been out a couple of hours, there's not been a single, I'm not making this up, there's not been a single cloud cover. Yet you've got that cloud up there. It's just been persistent blue skies and sunshine right since I've been out. The likelihood is when I get back to my place, into my flat, the likelihood is it's going to be something like 32 degrees Celsius. There's nothing I can do about it because government or Jesus Christ or the Creator God want to curse me with this nice sexy lady curse, but the sexy lady curse isn't occurring. They want to replace it with someone who sexually abused me as a child, but that's God's corrupt. Right, letting some people past, I say sad, grey car, yeah, and the grannies for you van as well before that. Right, I've spoken to 2 people on the phone and to find out what the weather is, because I do this to see if I'm being violated with sunshine and whatever. Well, it turns out one of the places has been cloudy with drizzle with no sunshine all day. At the other place that I rang, there has been sunshine, but it's only been for about 5 minutes. Otherwise the whole of today has been cloudy and grey with rain, showers, but not many of them for the whole of that day. Well, for me, as always, they've deliberately caused it to be blue skies and sunshine right through, and it's still blue skies and sunshine right now. As far as July goes, every single day up until the 8th of July has been sunny. That's right through every day, from start to finish. Hardly any cloud cover, if it has been any cloud cover. Maybe the occasional rainstorm. As far as the 8th goes, and the 9th, you had just under half a day, a quarter of a day, I think it is, of some form of cloud and heavy rain. Then it was hazy sunshine for a quarter of a day, and the other half a day was just pure blue skies and sunshine. Then on the other day, it was literally, I can't remember, it was mostly sunny. So the 8th and the 9th were sunny. When I was speaking to everybody else, it was cloudy or rainy for the whole day. When we came to the, what is it? I'm trying to think what it is. Fucking people fucking starting that. I might have to go onto the road. So then the 11th or the 10th or whatever, again they predicted a set of some like showers or some form of cloudy days in that time period. But like I said, I phoned people, and obviously it was sunny where I was. It's just persistently sunny, so they're doing it on purpose. And then obviously every single day up until the 21st, which it is today, most days have been basically sunny right through. So that's the weather forecast. First time ever, this one. I just seen a lookalike to Connie Langford, whose family that I've not basically had communication with for 29 years. I'm not exactly sure why the fallout is, and if I did know what the fallout is, which I have some idea of what it is, then I wouldn't be able to mention it. But the good news is it's not because of me. So this Lorraine was a sexy type lady. In actual fact, that's the mother of Connie, but in actual fact, if I was to look at that type in general today, I'm known as a sick cunt. Even if she's 20 years on top of the age she was back then, early. So, you know, things are different today. But when it comes to Connie lookalike, I've never really been hated or looked at as if I'm hated by the Connie Langford looking type. It is the first time ever, but obviously there's always going to be a time for something new. A Connie lookalike actually hates me and gives me a look like I'm a filthy piece of fucking worthless shit on the floor. It is the first time ever, but it's just happened. So, and as far as the chainsaw goes, I managed to get past that. That's not a problem. Polite chap, so all good there. The government are absolutely fucking pelting the setups. It's probably the heaviest I've known it for a Sunday, walking back from any walk I've done on a Sunday since I lived in Yeovil. Sad stuff. 400 cars trying to get over the bridge. There's 16 vehicles that collide on that bridge. Overhanging trailers as well to smash my legs off. Black knife shape angled at me. Black knife timed. Black knife again, and blue knife again. The shapes of cars. Car one light out. Black and blue, 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 black grey and black and blue and black and blue. 200 more cars on top of that. Trying to get a busy car. Murder t-shirt. Knife shaped timed. Sexual car. Roughly 15 cell calls in the mince of that in my direction. Coughed up 4 times, no sneezes. Knife shaped timed. Red sexual car. Black and blue. 4 rough people in my direction. And a person that's wearing like one of those hats. There's an album called Strictly Underground Volume 3. Strictly Underground and SU Corporation Records, released in 1995, where it's got a picture of a man with a hat on. The bloke resembles that person and has a hat on that looks like that person.